Hi there. My name is Susan DeFreitas, and I am a collaborative editor here at Indigo Editing, Design, and more. And I'm here to talk to you about a burning topic for many writers, and that is how to overcome fear of revision. So it's this big myth that we have that, after wrestling with inspiration, writer's block, and maybe even their pillows over the course of some sleepless nights, the author finally types out the words "the end," and boom, the book is ready for publication. Well, of course, real writers know that this is a myth and that the end of the first draft generally marks just the beginning of quite a long process. But if you don't know exactly what's wrong with your manuscript, it can be daunting to get back in there and work out your next revision. But while there is no one-size-fits-all strategy for everyone, we here at Indigo have helped hundreds of authors close the gap between their first draft and their published manuscript. And as a collaborative editor specializing in developmental work, that means the shaping of the manuscript itself, as well as a published author myself, I'm going to share with you my top 4 tips for overcoming fear of revision. Number 1, get some distance from the manuscript. When you've just finished your first draft, you're probably just on fire with the project. And no matter how excited you are to get back in there, keep that momentum going and pound out your next draft, you're not going to be in the right frame of mind to really read your book the way a reader would, to see the big picture, right? So whether it takes you a couple weeks or it takes you a couple months, put the project aside long enough that you get some fresh eyes from it, that you can read it with fresh eyes. Number 2, when you do dig back into that project, read it from beginning to end and resist the urge to tinker with it. You should make some notes while you're doing this, whether you make them by hand or you make them on a separate file, but resist the urge to tinker and to revise while you're doing this. This is just the point where you want to look at what you have and make some notes about that to yourself. Number 3, this is the point where you want to get some editorial feedback. So that might be a trusted writer friend, it might be a critique group, or it might be one of our trained editors here at Indigo. But you want to give your manuscript to somebody who will commit to reading it from beginning to end, and somebody who you trust not only to tell you what's working with it and what's not, but somebody who knows enough about writing itself to be able to suggest some concrete strategies for you in revision. Okay, so once you've gotten your editorial feedback back from this person, compare their notes with yours. Where do they overlap and where do they diverge? No matter how trained or skilled your editor or critique group partner is, as the author, only you can know what's ultimately right for your book, right? So likely while you're reading that critique feedback, you'll have some eureka moments. You'll have some ideas, aha, this is what I need to do. So go through, I suggest, and just brainstorm, write page after page about how you can take some of the editorial feedback that you've received and apply it to the issues that you noted in your own work. And 4, this is the final step of the process. Take that big picture general plan that you developed via your brainstorming session based on this feedback and go through your manuscript and look at how you can apply it in a concrete way, piece by piece to each chapter, and create a detailed revision plan for each chapter. That way, you'll turn the general big picture vision for revision into small specific steps that you can take. Remember that story problems, quote unquote, they only seem intimidating when they're big and general. By learning to see your work the way your reader will, and by using editorial feedback when you need it, you really can cut these problems down to size. And from there, you can tackle them in the same way you tackled your first draft. 1 word, 1 sentence, and 1 paragraph at a time. Okay, so writers, now it's your turn. What is a tactic or a tip that has proven especially helpful to you in tackling revision? Please feel free to send it to me at susan@indigoediting.com, and we'd be happy to share it with our followers via social media. Thanks.